I want to do a quick video today about this particular job because it was so involved. There was so much that had to be done here. This is a very nice home, huge home, 3 stories. And this is an exercise room is what it was. It's, as you can see, it's tiled. It's sitting on a slab. The home itself is on a foundation, but because this house is at foundation, or this room, I'm sorry, is at foundation level. It's in the very basement bottom. It's on a pad, on a concrete slab. So water was penetrating this wall here and coming in and flooding the room. You can see how it did so much damage, and Cindy can pan around here, that they had to cut away all of the sheetrock. You can see the water damage here in this corner. Where it was really pushing itself in right there. So the gentleman that owns this property is very experienced in this kind of stuff, and several people have put in different types of drains. So what we're going to do in just a few minutes, but while we're inside here so that we don't track the place up, it's obviously for sale now and they're trying to get the property sold. We'll go outside and I'll show you what we did about it. But he wanted a foundation drain outside, and he was right. There was one installed earlier, I use my air quotes, but it wasn't correct, and so it's still running water in the house. So when we started digging along that wall on the outside, and I'll take you out there and we'll look at it, we found a piece of corrugated 4-inch pipe. Someone had punched a hole in the foundation wall and not sealed around it, and they'd run a 4-inch corrugated line from the inside to the outside. So I was trying to figure out what in the heck that was. Was this some sort of drain system from the inside, like a spider drain as we call it, like Terminex or someone would use? I mean, what on earth had they done? Because this was also a point in which water could enter back into the foundation. So we had to come inside here, and when you open this door and go in, you'll see that we go into a crawl space, but it's very high where you can walk around. And we started looking. My employee and I, you know, about where was this coming from? So what we found when we came in here, that is the old line where it went through the foundation there, and we concreted that hole up. We had to concrete it from the outside. And if you step right over here, you can see this is from the water heater, and if Cindy can catch that, I don't know if the light's good enough right there. But it goes down into a corrugated pipe. And I'm not going to take you all the way around the other side, but this is a huge home with probably like 5 air handlers, air conditioning units. They didn't have anywhere down here to pump, or not pump, but you can pump it sometimes, but to take the water from the condensation lines from those air handlers and get it out of the foundation. So they came up with the idea to run this corrugated pipe through here and just stick them all down in the corrugated pipe. So that's what they did, and then it was supposed to go over there and run down all the way outside somewhere down below the end of the yard. And all it was doing, it made a hole in the wall for water to then come in from the rain. So what we did, we installed this sump tank system for him right here, and I'm not going to open the lid up or anything. There's a sump pump down in there. Then we installed this outlet line. We took it all the way over and ran it through the foundation wall out there, if you can see that, in order so that when we cut this pipe over here and we got that out of the foundation wall and we reconcreted that hole, that this water, if condensation water does come out of here, has a place to go. It's lifted up and sent out somewhere else because it could not drain to gravity. So we did that for him. This is where we work. This is how we put it back, because our machine is very large. It weighs about 10,000 pounds. It did a lot of, and I told him in our proposal that it would do a lot of damage to the turf. It's been raining a lot here. It was just unavoidable that you were going to have, you cannot make an omelet without some eggs, so getting broken. So what we had to do, this is the inset wall where the water was pushing in. And the way we do these drain systems, you can still see a little bit of it right here. You can see the plastic membrane and the wall, the foundation seal that we put on it. But we excavate all the way down to the footer, all the way down. Then I take a builder's level or a transit and I measure this depth versus the depth inside. And I make sure that our pipe, our drain system, is at or below that depth when we start the drain, which starts up there, so that the water will drain by gravity. Then we take and we paint the foundation wall with a foundation coating seal, and we put a plastic membrane on that we overlap in the direction of flow, at least 1 foot of overlap, and we stick it on with rubberized roof cement. So basically we've created an impenetrable barrier for the water, so it cannot get in the wall. It travels down the wall and it goes in your French drain pipe. We then backfill, which fill the trench up with gravel all the way to the top. We haul off all of our dirt. This mulch just covers the gravel. You know, we camouflage it. You know, that's the gas line that was in here. But you can see there's gravel, comes all the way up to the top there. We just camouflage it with mulch. Mulch is fine. Companies that come in and they want to dig that out that way, assuming they get you to the right depth, and they just create a French drain that's about that deep, and then they pack the dirt back up in on top of it, that dirt acts like a patch over that drain. And while loose dirt will let water slowly percolate through it, gravel is so much better. It's a little more expensive, but it is a far better way. Every time we've done this system, it's always worked. But the attention to it, it's not, everybody knows how to do a French drain that does drainage work that knows anything about it. It's not knowing what the drain is, it's taking the proper time and attention to install it that makes a difference. It's doing the detail work. It's knowing how to put that membrane on. It's being very picky and careful about how all that is done. The next thing we did...
And the fall of the pipe.
And the fall of the pipe, making sure that you are correct. So this line here, we did jet hog work also on the gutter drain system with our water pressure jet hog system. This was an older line. It was not serviceable. It was blocked. We went down to the bottom and came up servicing it, and also from this way. So this line was replaced. This one up here, we were able to jet hog this line all the way from down there at the lake. If you can turn around and show them how far down it goes. The outlets are just down there where you see those green flags. This line here was serviceable. So all he needed to do was just, we cleaned it and replaced a little bit of it right here, and he was fine. So he saved that money. We didn't have to do that for him. We had to unhook this gas line and rehook it up. We had a irrigation wire there that I wanted to make sure it stayed exposed in case we had any trouble. But all of the irrigation stuff right here, this is 8 valves, and unfortunately, all 8 irrigation valves in one huge manifold, which is just a mess, were plumbed in right here where we're going to work. So before I started work, I identified and marked every one of them because I've installed commercial irrigation and repaired irrigation for 25 years. And I was able to make simple work out of it. We simply capped everything off, pulled the whole manifold out as one unit. There's pictures of that Cindy can post. And then when we got finished with the job, I cut it up into 3 sections and put it all back in and tested it again, and it worked fine. So that he did not have what a lot of customers end up with in work like this. The company may do a good job on the drain, but they'll destroy a sprinkler system or the yard or whatever, and then they tell them, and a lot of times they do tell you up front that they're just not going to be responsible for that. And now you have to go hire yet another contractor to come in, and because he doesn't know where they dug and what they broke, he's running around blind charging you money to diagnose it, trying to figure out what they've done. So this was a really good example of it being a one-stop shop for this guy, because it's a turnkey operation. We got the drain, we had an extremely heavy rain, the water did not penetrate the wall. We came in, we finished out the drain, we got all of his finished work done. There's a couple of things up there up front if you want to go over that on those front downspouts we had to do up there. And then we brought in sand and topsoil and dressed this up, because this, our machine will leave ruts that deep when it's really heavy, rain season. We smoothed all this out and we put new sod down for him and new mulch, so that he can go ahead and get a realtor as soon as he gets that room fixed and get the house sold. So it was just a really complicated job, And then we ended up doing some more stuff around front, and we'll